Hey everyone, in this video we're gonna draw this autumn dragon guarding its mushroom, but I messed up. Not the drawing this time, but when I started recording there was a ray of sunlight on my desk and I did not realize that that light would make it impossible to see what I was actually doing. So the first couple of minutes it kind of looks like this. So that was a lesson about lighting learned the hard way. And this video probably won't get many views because of it, and that's okay. But I don't want to keep it from you either, because you can still follow me along on a big chunk of my process. And I know that there are some people here who want to draw similar sketches to mine, and I think to those people this video can still be valuable. But luckily the part that we miss is just a couple of minutes and it's easy to explain. I start with drawing a shape for the head. We don't need to worry about details here, it's just so we have a starting point. I want the dragon to be laying on top of a mushroom, so I draw the mushroom as half a circle. We're gonna refine that shape later on, but for now it will help us positioning our dragon. And for that dragon we draw our line of action. It's just a line to resemble our pose. And on that line we draw two large circles, one for the chest area and one for the hip area. And then it's time to start drawing the limbs. And I'm gonna keep it really simple here. I just draw them as simple lines, and where the joints are I draw a circle. And I say this in every video, but it's basically just a stick figure in this phase. I do the same for the wings. The wing is actually just an arm. It starts from the shoulder, then we have the upper arm, the elbow and the lower arm with the hand. The membrane of the wing is situated between the fingers. And when you struggle with this part, I recommend looking at bat wings. You can draw bats for practicing your dragon wings. They are really great for reference. I'm only drawing a rough shape for the membrane right now, and as you can see the wing will overlap the elbow, so the upper arm of the dragon will be out of sight. Now it's time to start refining the forms that we have already put down. We're going from a stick figure to more of a full body now. As you can see in the legs, I draw around the lines and circles, keeping in mind that there are muscles underneath. When you struggle with drawing feet, I have two feet tutorials that can help you with that. One is a tutorial for T-Rex legs and feet, which is a very good base for your creatures, and the other one is about drawing eagle talons, which also works well in dragons and wyverns. The right foot of the dragon is coming from behind the mushroom, so we only see the toes wrapping around the round shape. We do the same with the hind leg, and then we draw the stem of the mushroom and also give more shape to the wings. In the wing you can still see all the lines that we drew in the beginning, the guidelines like the line of action and the circles. I make them lighter with a kneaded eraser, but I do not remove them entirely because I still need that line of action to continue the tail. For the mushroom I was thinking to draw an ink cap. They have those nice black ink droplets leaking from the cap, and I think that would go really well with this drawing in case I want to go over it with Indian ink. I draw some kite lines on the cap just so that I keep drawing in the right direction. It will help me create depth later on, and it will make it look more 3D. I add the ink droplets and then I move back to the dragon and start drawing in the details. And let's not forget that tail. I let it go around the mushroom stem to make the drawing more dynamic. This is his mushroom and he is very protective of it. And that's what we're showing with this pose. I add a bit of grass at the bottom and then I add more details and shading to the dragon. The areas that are in the shadows will be darker, and I use hatching and cross hatching to create that effect. You may have noticed that I constantly switch back and forth between different parts of my drawing. That is how I always work, and it actually has a reason. I'm constantly balancing the drawing. When working on one part, that part will become ahead of the other sections, and when looking at your work it feels off. And I don't like that feeling, so I go back to areas to balance everything instead of finishing one section at a time. Another reason is that sometimes I feel stuck in one part. So I move to another, and then the solution for the stuck part often comes to me later. So that is why I prefer working all over the place. Now we're gonna finish the ink cap. We make the ink droplets nice and dark, and we're adding some texture to the cap of the mushroom. For creating the soft texture of the stem, I hold the pencil further back and I use the side of the tip. Because I hold the pen that far back, I automatically use less pressure, which will help me create the nice light shading that I'm after. And in case you wonder, for this drawing I'm using a Pentel Graphicare mechanical pencil, a Tombow eraser pen and a kneaded eraser, which was the one from Faber-Castell. This is just what I have lying around and enjoy working with, but I encourage you to draw with whatever you prefer. If there is a pen that you really love, then use that. Only thing I want to add here is don't get stuck in constantly erasing. Sometimes you just need to let the creativity flow and see where that takes you, and erasing too much interrupts that process. So erasing is fine, but don't overuse it. Just have fun. It's okay when your drawing didn't come out perfect, because you can always make another. What matters is that you enjoy and feel free in the process. All that is left is some finishing touches and balancing our drawing. If you enjoyed drawing this dragon with me and want to learn more about drawing creatures, I have a Patreon with real-time tutorials and I'll put the link in the description of this video. So this little dragon is finished. I'm thinking of going over this one with Indian ink, but for that I'll most likely trace it to another piece of paper so I can center it a bit better. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial despite the mess up with the light in the beginning, and this is just so me because I really want to learn how to make good videos because I want to share my process and my art journey with you. And I just try to make each video a little bit better than the one before, but sometimes it's just like when it's not the sound that I'm struggling with, then it's a ray of sunlight on my desk. But things like that happen, and I hope you can forgive me, stay with me, and I hope this little dragon makes up for it. If you would like to do more tutorials with me or want to see some art advice videos, then make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and hype. Hype is a new thing, I believe. And yeah, thank you for watching and I'll see you with the next one. Bye!